I've worked in the field of preventive medicine and cardiovascular rehabilitation for over 30 years, and I need you to hear me clearly. Most people over 70 do not realize that 7 simple actions they perform every morning are silently triggering a repetitive chemical mini-stroke deep inside their arteries. That is not fear-mongering, that is cold, hard biological fact. Nearly half of all strokes and heart attacks, the majority of sudden cardiac events, occur in the early morning before 10 a.m. Why this deadly window? Because they waste time, they hesitate. But the greatest terror is manufactured from within, fueled by these 7 profound mistakes. They simply do not possess the knowledge of what simple actions can stabilize their blood pressure and keep their fragile vessels calm long enough to navigate the most dangerous hours of the day safely. And the brutal truth, based on decades of observation, is this. If you are unaware of these 7 mistakes, you are unilaterally doubling your inherent risk of heart failure, inviting disaster. Every single day I see exhausted, depleted, and tragically damaged patients in my clinic. Individuals who could have maintained vitality and independence if they had corrected just 1 or 2 actions within the first hour of waking. An uncontrolled, explosive spike in morning blood pressure, a sensation of unexplained heaviness across the chest, and by the time they are rushed into the emergency room, the crucial golden window for complete recovery has irrevocably slammed shut. But here is the great hope. There are science-backed non-pharmaceutical techniques, simple, precise actions you can perform today to actively reverse age-related vascular stiffness. These are the exact real-world strategies that top cardiologists discreetly teach their most vulnerable high-risk patients. Today, I will meticulously guide you through the 7 morning mistakes that are aggressively undermining the health of your heart. And please, wait until you hear about tip number 1. Scientific research indicates that this single action can be the difference between permanent debilitating damage and walking out of the hospital with renewed independence and vigor. Most people, even those with excellent health habits, have no idea, but after today, you will possess this life-saving knowledge. Before we dive into the core content, a quick, vital question. Do you currently feel a rapid heart rate, a sense of anxiousness, or unexplained fatigue right after your morning coffee? Tell me your experience in the comments below. I treat this platform as an extension of my clinic. I personally review and reply to every single one. Do not hold back. Now, without any further delay, we begin the countdown with mistake number 7, the seemingly insignificant action that often serves as the tipping point for disaster. Danger number 7. Neglecting electrolyte compensation, the simple water trap. This action is the first step toward disaster. Do not simply drink plain water. Why is this so profoundly dangerous? Because the simple act of breathing and sweating throughout the night leaves you severely depleted, not just of water, but critically of electrolytes. Specifically, sodium, potassium, and magnesium. These minerals are the electrical currency that keeps your heart cells synchronized and firing correctly. If you only consume plain water, you're dangerously diluting the scarce remaining electrolytes, a scenario that fundamentally disrupts the heart's electrical rhythm. Did you know that acute electrolyte imbalance can directly trigger life-threatening arrhythmias, such as atrial fibrillation? The imbalance breaks the cell membrane potential of the cardiac muscle, resulting in abnormal and chaotic electrical irritability. Consider the case of Mr. Robert, age 75. He followed the hydration rule, drinking glass after glass of plain water. Within an hour he felt dizzy, lightheaded and weak. The diagnosis was mild hyponatremia, low sodium levels. By diluting his system, he failed to provide the biological scaffolding his body needed to maintain water equilibrium, leaving his heart exquisitely sensitive to rhythm disturbances. Danger number 6. Taking medication immediately, the viscosity vicious cycle. Why does this specific timing pose a mortal danger to the heart? When you first wake up, your blood is at its maximum viscosity. It is thickest and most sluggish. If you take a diuretic, a water pill, at this peak viscosity, you compel your body to rapidly dump even more fluid. This does not provide effective blood pressure control. Instead, it dramatically amplifies the thickness of your blood. This state forces your already compromised and often weakened heart to desperately pump a thick, sticky fluid through arteries that are already stiffened by plaque. This singular act can increase the acute cardiac load by 100%. Furthermore, this rapid volume depletion triggers the body's primal defense, the renin-angiotensin-aldosterone system, or RAS. This ancient survival system immediately clamps down on your blood vessels to maintain core pressure. The result is a sudden, uncontrolled morning surge in hypertension. Imagine Mr. John, age 78. He took his diuretic with a small sip of water before he even left the bed. That single practice was the direct cause of his morning blood pressure spikes, forcing his heart to violently overwork to sustain peripheral circulation. His mistake was a simple lack of adequate buffering before the medication. Danger number 5. Getting up too quickly. The baroreflex collapse. Why is rapid vertical movement so uniquely dangerous for seniors? Because the crucial pressure regulating system, the baroreflex, in older adults suffers from diminished responsiveness and a slow-to-act autonomic nervous system. When you stand up suddenly, gravity violently pulls blood away from the head and down to the lower extremities. The sluggish baroreflex cannot compensate fast enough, resulting in a temporary shortage of blood to the brain. The heart's panicked reaction is to accelerate erratically, a state known as tachycardia, as it desperately tries to avert fainting. This becomes an acute, unnecessary mechanical shock to the heart muscle, exponentially increasing its oxygen demand. Consider the story of Mrs. Helen, age 81. She rushed to the kitchen one morning and suddenly experienced a terrifying surge in heart rate, dizziness, and near collapse. In that moment, she inflicted an acute mechanical strain on her entire circulatory system. Did you know that taking just 60 seconds to transition from lying down to standing is an active, protective cardiovascular measure? It allows your nervous system the critical time needed to gradually adjust vascular tone and prevent a pressure collapse. Danger number 4. Strong caffeine on an empty stomach. The adrenaline-cortisol catastrophe. Why does black coffee consumed at this moment become toxic? Caffeine, by its very nature, is a powerful vasoconstrictor. It aggressively narrows your blood vessels. When this effect is combined with the body's natural morning peak of cortisol, the primary stress hormone, it generates an uncontrolled, high-velocity adrenaline wave. This wave commands your arteries to tighten forcefully, spiking your systemic blood pressure. This severe, sudden tightening creates massive shear stress on the delicate endothelial lining of your blood vessel walls. In doing so, it actively destroys nitric oxide, or NO, the life-saving gas responsible for vessel relaxation and flexibility. Do you realize that by maintaining this habit, you're actively dismantling your heart's most critical natural defense system, the nitric oxide mechanism, every single day? Consider the case of Mrs. Mary, age 72. Her habitual black coffee on an empty stomach caused a reproducible significant spike in her morning blood pressure. She was applying a potent vasoconstrictor to a system with no protective vasodilation in place, setting herself up for a hypertensive crisis. Danger number 3. High sugar or refined carbohydrate breakfast, the insulin storm and inflammation. This is a subtle but devastating danger. Why is high sugar so lethal immediately after waking? After fasting all night, your body is maximally sensitive to insulin. When you consume refined carbohydrates or sugar, like processed cereals, muffins, or fruit juice, your pancreas releases a massive, acute flood of insulin. This sudden spike triggers an immediate wave of systemic inflammation, directly damaging the endothelial cells, the fragile lining of your arteries. Did you know that this morning insulin surge severely inhibits your body's ability to produce nitric oxide? Danger number 2. Skipping natural nitric oxide boosters, missing the golden bridge. This is a failure of a mission, a silent killer. Why is this oversight so dangerous? Because you are unknowingly bypassing the golden 30-minute opportunity to flood your system with nitric oxide precursors. Without natural nitrates found abundantly in specific vegetables, your blood vessels remain in a state of dangerous contraction, perpetuating arterial stiffness. Nitrates are converted into nitric oxide, the molecule that relaxes and opens your vessel walls. Research indicates that boosting natural nitric oxide intake can lower blood pressure as effectively as many commonly prescribed medications. Consider Mr. David, age 69. He always ate plain white toast for breakfast, a neutral food, but a missed opportunity. By neglecting natural nitrate sources, he bypassed his body's chance to activate its most potent, protective vasodilator. A single glass of beetroot juice or a dark green smoothie could have naturally and preemptively lowered his systolic blood pressure before the day even began. Danger number 1. Ignoring natural light exposure, shattering the heart's clock. This is the number 1 deadly mistake, the most insidious and overlooked. Why is light exposure so profoundly critical? Bright light, especially natural sunlight, immediately upon waking, is the single strongest external signal to regulate your body's circadian rhythm. Failure to receive this light cue, by staying in the dark or using artificial yellow light, catastrophically disrupts the carefully timed balance of cortisol and melatonin. This imbalance causes exaggerated, unsynchronized cortisol spikes that place unnecessary strain on your heart. Did you know that morning sunlight exposure naturally lowers blood pressure? It triggers your skin to release stored nitric oxide, which gently relaxes and opens your blood vessels. By skipping natural light, you block this beautiful biological cascade, guaranteeing a more chaotic hormonal surge and inflicting unnecessary stress on your cardiovascular system. You cannot predict when a cardiac event will occur, but executing these precise actions can be the absolute difference between crisis and survival. This is the 5-step heart reset protocol, the physiological survival blueprint for your daily routine. Tip number 5, natural light, cortisol calibration. This action directly counters danger 1. The moment you open your eyes, immediately open your curtains or step outside, for at least 5 minutes. The mechanism is simple yet profound. Bright light instantly sets your master biological clock, the suprachiasmatic nucleus, ensuring that cortisol is released smoothly and in sync. This stabilizes your body's stress response and prevents dangerous morning surges in blood pressure. Tip number 4. Water and mineral salts, restoring blood volume. This step is the direct antidote to dangers 6 and 7. This exact combination of warm water and natural salt decreases blood viscosity and electrically stabilizes your heart cells. The salt serves as a biological buffer against the morning cortisol spike, reducing peripheral strain on the heart. Immediately after light exposure, consume 2 large glasses of warm water mixed with a generous pinch of mineral salt, pink Himalayan or unrefined sea salt. Then pause. Wait 30 deliberate minutes before taking any medication. That single waiting period may literally save your life. Tip number 3. Controlled movement, reducing mechanical shock. This step reverses danger 5. Gentle, deliberate movement activates endothelial nitric oxide synthase, or ENOS, the enzyme responsible for producing nitric oxide. This increases vessel flexibility without placing sudden strain on the heart. After drinking your water solution, dedicate 10 minutes to slow, intentional walking or 5 minutes of gentle stretching. Replace the habit of rushing with calm, deliberate control. Your heart will thank you for it. Tip number 2. Natural nitro, vascular reactivation. This is your shield against dangers 4 and 2. You're now proactively delivering natural nitro, a natural surge of vasodilation. 30 minutes after movement, consume a concentrated dose of fresh beetroot juice or a dark green smoothie rich in spinach or arugula. The golden rule: always drink this before your morning caffeine. You are building a protective, more relaxed arterial layer before introducing a constricting agent. Commit to this ritual, and you've already doubled your cardiovascular protection. Tip number 1. Balanced breakfast, insulin stabilization. This final step neutralizes danger 3. The mechanism is precise. Protein and healthy fats stabilize your blood glucose and prevent the destructive morning insulin spike. After your nitric oxide boost, eat a protein-rich breakfast, eggs, Greek yogurt, or healthy fats like avocado and nuts. The absolute mandate strictly limit refined grains and sugars. That one distinction determines whether your arteries stay stable and calm, or collapse under insulin chaos. These 7 morning mistakes are silently, incrementally, and systematically destroying the health of your heart. But now you know the truth. By consciously eliminating them and adopting the 5-step heart reset protocol, you are taking back control, reclaiming your vascular flexibility, and dramatically reducing the chronic burden placed on your heart. You deserve a strong, stable, useless and resilient heart at 80, 90 and beyond. The science is clear. Small, precise actions each morning can yield decades of vitality and independence. If you're committed and want the comprehensive detailed guide on exact salt dosages, optimal green smoothie formulas, and the scientific research behind every step, comment 7 mistakes survived. This is life-saving information. Share it immediately with those you love. Empower yourself with the knowledge to live stronger, to live longer, and to live independently. And if you have made the commitment to change even one habit starting tomorrow. Tap the like button right now. Because today, you're not waiting for health to fail. You're building it moment by moment. Stay aware, stay consistent, and let your heart beat strong for the life you deserve.